I hope everyone is doing great today. Welcome to my channel. Let's talk about it. So Kawhi Leonard and the Los Angeles Clippers seem to have lost their way, and they lost Game 7 on Tuesday night against the Denver Nuggets, 104-89. And the Clippers had a 3-1 lead leading up to Game 5. But the problem was the guy that we learned and grown to love, Kawhi Leonard, the Claw, which we call him, he didn't show up for Game 5, Game 6, Game 7, right? So those last 3 games, I'm going to give you his stats, guys. He averaged a total of 11.7 points per game, shooting about 28% from the field and 33% from the arc. So this is not the Kawhi Leonard that I know, or you guys know as well too. And Paul George, he didn't do so great either. In Game 7, I think he barely scored double digits. He vanished. He's the Paul George that we know in the playoffs. Even when he was with Indiana, he would amazing scorer, all-star, perennial all-star. But the problem is, when it really counts in the playoffs, he doesn't show up and he's not clutch. He's more like a Robin, right? So Kawhi, when he spoke to the reporters after the game, you know, he doesn't say much words, but what he did say, he speaks in code, right? He did say, just have to get smarter as a team. He kept saying, we just have to get smarter as a team, and you know, to be a championship team, we have to be smarter, right? And Coach Doc Rivers, Paul George, and Kawhi Leonard, they all came to the conclusion that, and I forgot Lou Williams, they were just saying that there wasn't enough chemistry with the team. And I get it, guys. First season together, it was almost like the Miami Heat, the big three, but Miami, you know, they came out saying not 1, not 2, not 7 championships. So they kind of put that pressure on themselves, and you had LeBron James and Dwayne Wade in his prime, right? So they were looking to win right away. But the Clippers, I'm not saying that they were a championship team, meaning they were going to definitely win a championship, but they were a contender, which they were. So them losing to the Denver Nuggets was a big upset, guys. Denver Nuggets, man, they did it twice, coming back from a 3-1 hole, and just come back scorching, man, with Jokic and Jamal Murray. Murray he dropped 40 on those boys last night, and Jokic had a triple-double. I think he had like 22, 23 rebounds or 19 points and 13 assists, so he had a great stat line. But the problem is, Kawhi Leonard, he's the closer that we know. He's a 2-time champion, a 2-time final MVP. He's won the finals in 2014 with the San Antonio Spurs, and a finals MVP against Miami Heat, which it was the Miami Heat with LeBron James. And in 2019, which was last season, he did capture Toronto's first championship in the country, or just in the franchise at that, and won the finals MVP as well. So I just and he beat Golden State, but with the injured Kevin Durant and Klay Thompson out. So, but again, credit to Kawhi. So he's definitely a winner. He knows how to win championships, but Tuesday night was just not his night. And not just Tuesday, for 3 games he stunk it up, and he took a lot of shots on Tuesday. I think he shot about 20. I think he went 6 for 22. So he was definitely trying to score, but things wasn't falling his way. The only one that came to play was Patrick Beverley, and was it Montrezl Harrell? He had 20 points. But Dame Lillard too, Dame Dollar, he came out and right after, he was trolling Pat Beverly and those boys by saying, hey, there's still some room to go to Cancun. I haven't made my reservations yet. So the reason why Dame Lillard was saying that, it was because prior, when the Clippers beat Portland Trailblazers. Dame Lillard, he missed the final two free throws, and Pat Beverly and the Morris boy, they were on the sideline just laughing it up and kind of like waving goodbye and things like that, trolling him. And this again, Dame, I know it's petty, but he did what he had to do on that. But I think the biggest thing that I took away from the game and just the series was that Kawhi, no one was looking to close. No one was looking to close out games. And again, I said the last three games, one game they're up 15, 16, 19, 12, they're up all these points, and then you lose the lead. And remember guys, this was game 5, 6, and 7. I'm not even talking about the first 4 games. They already 3-1. So the last 3 games, you're already up, and nobody wanted to close the game out. And I just really think about, I know it's hindsight is 2020, with Kawhi leaving Toronto. You win a championship in Canada. The country is yours. Literally, you have the key to the country. Anything you want is yours. But I get it. Kawhi wanted to go back home where he's from, in California, and I guess he wanted to be in the nice weather. But I think that he should have stayed out there. But again, and I think I was even saying that, to friends, even to myself, like, don't leave. At least sign like a 2-year deal, or 1-year deal. Do something. LeBron does it. He does a two-year deal, plays one, and he opts out the other one. So he could have done something like that, a 1-and-1. But he did tell the organization in the summertime when they met up that he didn't believe that they can repeat as champions, and he didn't think they were good enough. They had a championship team for this season, and I want to say he was wrong for that, because Siakam, he came out, this season. He became an all-star for the first time. I think he was averaging about 22 a game, or maybe a little bit more. And he didn't really do too good in the series against Boston. He had one good game, but he didn't really do too well. But you still got Kyle Lowry, you got Van Vliet, you got a good squad. Ibaka. So I think if they had Kawhi Leonard, I think they definitely could have beat Boston in the series, because you got to remember they were down 2-0, and they came back to force a game 7. And I think if you had Kawhi Leonard, they could have closed out Boston. I would say it would have been maybe 4-2. I think so. So hindsight is 2020, and I think if Kawhi could have did it over again, of course he's going to come out and say, he still would have left, but I think he should have stayed. I think they definitely had a chance to repeat, and it's unfortunate now. The Denver Nuggets, and again, guys, credit to the Denver Nuggets. I don't want to take nothing away from that team, because they're fighters, man. Jamal Murray, he's a stud, man. He's scoring 40, 30. I think one game in the bubble he had 50. I can't even keep track with this guy. He's a scoring machine. So big shout out to the Denver Nuggets, and I think they're going to give the Lakers hell. But again, as I keep saying in videos, I believe that the Los Angeles Lakers are the favorite to win the NBA title. But I just think wow, it's just a shame, because we all were thinking it was going to be the Clippers against the Los Angeles Lakers, and LeBron and Anthony Davis against them, and that would have been a showdown. I don't know if people are too interested in watching the Denver series with the Lakers, but I know we're going to watch it because that's the Western Conference Finals. But I think it would have been more eyes plugged to that TV if it was the Los Angeles Clippers. Last thing I'm going to mention is Doc Rivers. Not taking anything away from that man. He's a great coach, and the last time he won a championship was in Boston in 2008. And I know the next year they lost in the was it 2010? Yeah, 2009-2010 season. They lost in the finals, Game 7 to Kobe Bryant and the Los Angeles Lakers. Rest in peace to Kobe. And, Doc Rivers is a great coach, but the problem is, since he's been in LA with the Clippers, they can't get to the Western Conference Finals. And it's crazy. You had CP3, Blake Griffin. People's like, oh, they're just Lob City and, a lot of things like that. But at the end of the day, you have Paul George and you have Kawhi Leonard. You got to get to the Western Conference Finals any means necessary, and they didn't do that. So I think we have to start looking at Doc Rivers and saying, what the hell is going on? Like, what are we missing here? And I know Paul George, he came out to even say, too, that this wasn't a let's say win a title or a bust season. So he felt that the team coming into this season, they needed to have that chemistry, needed to gel together being the first season, but they did not have on their mind it was all or nothing, right? If they don't win a championship, it's just a bust. And lastly, I'll leave you guys with this. The end of 2021 season, Paul George and Kawhi Leonard, they will become free agents, and I think that's kind of telling. So let's see what they do next season, and if they don't win, I could see, I don't know, maybe one of them might leave, one of them might stay. Who knows, or both might go, So I want to know what you guys are thinking. Let me know in the comment section. Tell me, not if you think, I know you feel that Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, and those Clipper boys, they wet the bed, they choked, and they will not be facing the Los Angeles Lakers in the next round in the Western Conference Finals. But I want to know what you guys are thinking. Tell me, are you disappointed with them? Are you happy to see them lose? What do you think they're going to do next year? Things like that. Make sure you subscribe and share the video, like the video, and I will talk to you guys on the next video. Peace and love.